I've come to Mallorca to the World Flowboarding Championships to see some of the sport's best riders strike their stuff. Now, flowboarding is a mixture of board sports. It's a bit of skating, a bit of surfing and a bit of snowboarding for good measure, all using this artificial wave that you can see behind me to create the gnarliest tricks possible.
The sport's evolved a lot in the last couple years. A few years ago when it first started, basically everybody was doing things strapped in, and everybody was doing flips, and there's been a really big influence of skateboarding on the sport. And so a lot of guys are doing more technical strapless tricks, you know, finger flips, front flips, all sorts of things. So in men's we've got strapped and strapless divisions. The same in women's, we've got strap and strapless division. And then bodyboarding, what we have is a prone division where they're laying down, and then what we call drop knee, which is one knee up, one leg down. So we've got 6 different disciplines and people all over the world competing in all different versions.
Hopefully, I'm going to get to have a go on the bad boy you can see behind me. But first of all, I need to go on the flow rider, which is kind of like the nursery slopes of flowboarding. But before I do that, I'm going to go meet the inventor of the sport and see if he can give me a few tips.
The key is not getting too tight, especially when you start to stand up. It's all, the weight has to be on the back foot, you know, if you're going to do stand up. Just relax, keep your back straight, knees bent. You don't want to ride it on that scale. That's the trick. Start out, you know, in the smaller, start out on the flow board, you know, in flow rider. And then you can progress up, and as long as you get your balance there, go on a small barrel here, it's completely safe. Just watch the board though. You don't want the board to come back and get you.
I enlisted the help of Tom's son Logan, a top rider himself, to show me the ropes on the flow rider.
Today we're going to get you flowboarding. We're going to start off on the bodyboard. Get you going, get used to the flow at first. It's a little bit different than most board sports. Basically you want your top hands right at the top of the board, okay? You want your elbows nice in the middle of the board. Reason being, if you have your elbows off, you're going to get water in your face, you won't see anything, no fun. You want the bottom of the board at the base of your stomach. You want half your body in the water. Keep your legs down in the water and they're going to act like rudders on a boat, okay? That's how you control yourself. If you want to go up, lean back on the board. If you want to go forward, lift your legs up out of the water and press forward a little bit.
Okay, so you start off leaning back a bit so that you...
Exactly, and you want to lean just a little pressure on your left-hand rail so you move into the wave.
Okay.
Try and keep the board as straight as you can, though. When you want to start to turn, if you want to go to the right, go ahead and pull up on your left-hand rail, lean right. If you want to go to the left, pull up on your right-hand rail, lean left. Okay. Pretty simple. Make sure you keep your chest up and your head up so you're seeing clearly. Make sure you have your elbows on the board, though. That's one very important thing. Rob's going to be showing you a few simple moves. Get you going. That's about it. Lean back. There you go. You got the currents, you got the cars, you had everything going, you're getting used to going up and down. That's the main thing, is just getting comfortable with the flow, getting used to the wave. A lot of people are nervous when they go and they're really stiff, they don't know what to do. Yeah. I think for the next step, what you should try doing is getting up onto your knees.
Okay, cool.
So basically, one thing you want to do, you're going to be on your stomach, right? Yep. And your hand's going to be at the top like this. You want to go ahead and move your hands down right here. Go ahead and push up nice and fast. Get your knees kind of near the end of the board. You want your toes dragging in the water. The farther back you lean, the more control you'll have. Okay. So you'll be riding like this, kind of carving back and forth, pulling on the opposite corners while you're putting your weight in the opposite corners. Get your shoulders back. Put your hands down in the water. There you go. Go ahead and lean on your left-hand rail. Go over this way. Yeah. And lean back the other way. Start carving. Keep the board straight.
Yeah, to get good, you know, you're probably looking at a couple years of pretty dedicated work. But usually a lot of these riders, they start out either skating or surfing or snowboarding.
You don't have to have a background in these kind of sports to get into it, because I mean, there's obviously always going to be that first sport that you get into. If you do have a background in other board sports, it's obviously going to be an advantage for you, but because I know I came from wakeboarding. Before I did this, I was a professional wakeboarder, and in wakeboarding, you're flipping around and spinning, and that you got a handle. So when I started doing this without the handle, it was like awesome. Just spin faster. So yeah, you definitely do have the crossover elements. The skater is going to find the strapless stuff easier, but definitely someone who's never done it mustn't hold back because they haven't done anything like that before.
4 years ago, my sister won 2 free hours at the Wave House in San Diego, and I took them from her. And then my 3rd hour, I landed a backflip, so I just kept riding, and here we are 4 years later in beautiful Mallorca.
Right now, Rob's teaching Max how to get on the rope. A little bit different with the rope, because the reason being is that you gotta have all your weight on your back foot. You gotta be leaning back and keeping the rope up with your front hand. Make sure that he has his back hand nice and low. That way he'll have all of his weight back. Super simple. It's a lot easier getting in with the rope because you have the balance and support of someone holding you, and you have someone coaching you from the front. It's a lot easier once you're riding too, because then you can go ahead and start practicing carving back and forth and getting a feel of it, and you have a good long ride. You just gotta relax. You just have to be comfortable. You know, just be confident. That's all you have to do, is just be confident. Like, oh yeah, I got this, and then boom, they're riding fine.
Right, okay, cool.
So.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident.
Cool, good.
We'll see.
I think it's your time to shine. Bend your knees, go ahead and stay nice and fluid. You want to be easy. Lean back. Keep this arm up, your front arm up, your back arm down. Okay, your shoulders back. There you go, nice and easy, relax. All your weight back. There you go.
I've just been learning the basics of flowboarding on the Flow Rider. I started off with a bodyboard, so what you do on that is you put your arms on either side, arch your back, and have your feet trailing off the ends. From there I graduated to popping up onto my knees, take the hands off, and you can lean left and right, carve left and right across the water. Next, I got onto an actual flow board, which is kind of like a cross between a skateboard and a surfboard, a little bit longer than a skateboard. Standing on that, and there was a guy with a rope at the end guiding me. And really all you have to do is put all your weight on the back foot, and then you lean and you put your weight on your heel and your toe to carve left and right. Finally, we managed to learn how to lean back and forwards to move up and down the wave. Now, I've done that for a few minutes. I managed to stand up, stay on it, did stack it a few times, but apparently I'm now ready to do the flow barrel, which is the beast you can see behind me.